Dogs will be kicking off. Richmond at the moment is sitting with only one man deep. And Crumley approaches the ball, and the kick is very high and short. Irwin Matthews going to come up and take it on the 15. One man bounced off him. Another man bounced off him to the 20, to the 25. Caught from behind around the 27 or 8. Two guys cracked him pretty good on his right hip, but they bounced right off. One of the Guthries got him, number 84. Mike Guthrie was the guy that finally caught him. And Richmond, a passing football team, and a lot of seniors on its offense will line up. Homecoming 1986. There's an I and two wideouts. Richmond's in that 5-2 with the backers back about 4 yards. Jackson to Tate at left guard, a hole for 5. 10, and somebody picked him up and threw him backwards just as he reached the 10-yard area on the 35. That was Kim Pettis, who's a big senior safety from Oak Ridge, Tennessee, 6'2", 195. There's a little yapping at each other on the end of the play. Brian Tuff, the tackle, was helping him. They're going to give him 9.5 on the play and call it second down, and about a foot or so, the ball barely touching the 35. They got to cross it a few inches for the first down. Lewis and Dukes are now the receivers split to the left side. Georgia's second down, half a yard for a first down. And Jackson keeps it, cuts back in the middle for 5 yards, for 10, 15, 20, 25, stumbling off balance. He went down on about the 7. He had been bumped, he kept his feet and got 8 yards precariously off balance, sneaking with a big hole in the middle opened by Burrows and Wheeler and Stevens in there. From the 35 all the way to the 7 for 28 yards, and he stumbled the last 7 or 8 steps all by himself off balance. Maybe the last 12 yards he did that, and a big first down. Little over 4 minutes in the quarter, no score. Dogs with Simmons and Sadowski, tight ends, and Warner, who's in motion. Jackson going to pitch it to Tate. He's got a block. Tate jumps over the 5. Touchdown, Lars Tate. Sadowski threw a good block on that left corner. And McCluskey and Sadowski and Mac Burrows, the guard, who had pulled out there. And it's 6-0. It took the Dogs 11 minutes to get on the boards. Will Jones' interception started it, but we still had a drive at 65 yards. 6-0, Georgia leading. Threatening skies, but it hasn't rained now for hours. Carpenter to Hall, Crumley to try an extra point. Richmond rushed the man in on the corner, not in time. The kick is good, 7-0. 60-second local timeout on the Georgia Bulldog Network. Fourth down, and the Dogs may reach for a long field goal here. Boy, have we been throwing that football today. Fourth down and 8. 7-0, Georgia leading. Richmond has 7 men on the line, and the kick is coming up, and it is going to be no good. It's off to the right, 10 or 12 feet. I think he would have had the distance if he had had the accuracy, but it would have been very close. Field goal is no good, and Richmond will line up and be first down on the missed field goal. Second down. Richmond trying to tie it up. 2:42 to go here in the half. 7-0. Georgia barely hanging out front. Richmond up to the line. They split 3 men out. Flyer takes his time. Now he walks up behind his center. Now he's stopping to throw. Going to throw to the corner, and it is caught. Complete. No, they'll say, yes, it is a touchdown. Boy, he took his time. James Church up in the air, got his feet down a few inches inside before he stumbled out of there. Two of the officials, I thought, looked at each other first, and then one of them called it touchdown, and it was. Church got behind the corner on the left, went up in the air on the back line of the end zone to catch it, and came down with his feet inside, and it's 7-6. 2:22.5. Arnell, a senior. Ned Arnell from Potomac, Maryland, will try the extra point to tie it up. They set it down. The kick is up. The kick is good, and we're all tied. 7-7. They had 6 seniors on their starting defense, and that helps you when you get in a situation like that. 3rd and 8. Georgia in a pro set. 2 wideouts and 2 running backs. 7-7 ties sitting on the Richmond 42-yard line. James Jackson going to take it and drop back. Got a lot of time. Got a man open, and a great catch by John Thomas. And he pulls this man out of bounds around the 13. Mark Auker, the free safety. John Thomas, who dropped 2 or 3 in the first half, went up in the air high for that one. and got 20, 30 yards to the 12-yard line there. Dogs, second down on a yard. They're sitting just outside the 3 with the 2 tight ends, so they go to Tate again, and Tate drives. Touchdown at right guard. He bounced off one man on the 2, but kept his body in there and got in. Running over there between Wheeler, Stevens, and Strozier on that side. And it's 13-7. Dogs had a long kickoff return with a penalty tacked on the end of it. Then threw a deep pass to Thomas, who made a strong catch of it. And quickly got a touchdown in what amounts to 2 minutes and 2 seconds. 13-7, Georgia leading. Tate has scored twice today. They set it down, and Crumley's kick is up, and the kick is good. 14-7. Man in motion, and they go to McCluskey, driving over the 45 to the 48. McCluskey got 6 yards at right tackle. Brown, the outside linebacker, knocked him down. Kid from Homestead, Florida. Richmond trailing 14-7. Georgia's out on their own 48, second down and 4. Yeah, I was looking at Keith Johnson. You've got a lot of bandaging on that one hand, left hand, I think. Dogs in their own 48. Richmond's in a 4-3. Osborne again in motion to the left, and we go to the tailback, and Tate's got a hole at the tackle. He cut around a man, the 40 to 35. Lars Tate being chased down the sideline, and they caught him around the 14 because he had to dodge a man, and it slowed him down, but he went all the way down from his 48 to the Richmond 14. Pat Brown, the linebacker, got him. Kim Pettis, the strong safety, 38 yards and a first down just inside the 14. Dogs goal to go on the 3. Richmond in a 7-man line. We go man in motion. We go to Tate. Tate drives. He got in there. They knocked him back, but he got to the goal line at left guard. Perry Burrows, Wheeler, Stevens, and Strozier have taken him down in there. The interior of the offensive line, and it's 20-7. Dixie Crystal Sugar scoreboard. William and Mary 27, Virginia 24 in the third quarter. Michigan 27, Illinois 13. 20-7, Georgia leading. We aren't quite to the halfway point in this third quarter. I'm looking at, both his hands are taped, especially Keith Johnson's right hand is more taped than the other one. Crumley's extra point up in the air, good, and it's 21-7, Georgia leading.
So now they're back out there in a situation where they've got to stop the Spiders as a quarterback, Blyer, gets his last-minute instructions and brings in the play from the bench.
Richmond is on the Georgia 3.5-yard line exactly. Tate, the senior center, weighs 220, short, chunky guy over the ball. One wide out in an eye. Blyer, the quarterback, back to throw. Going for the corner of the end zone. Broken up by Gary Moss, the veteran cornerback. James Church, the split end, went down and went sprinting left then. And they went to that corner, and Richmond didn't get it. That might take a lot out of them. They spent a lot of time down there counting timeouts and penalty discussions and could not get the points. And the Dogs take it over on their own 3. Now we split the backs. Put Osborne alone out on the right. We have 2 tight ends in there. Third down, 9. Jackson dropping back to throw. They chase him. It's a screen to the left. Tate caught it on the left side on the 30, the 25, the 20. Got a block, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Lars Tate. Keith Johnson and Victor Perry, Kim Stevens were the screen over on the left. And when he caught it 5 yards behind the line, then Tate just streaked down that side, and the Dogs lead 27-7. Screen pass over to the left side. Carpenter holds. Crumley's extra point is up, and the kick is good, and it's 28-7. Richmond on the Dogs' 9-yard line on third down and 4. One of our linebackers coming right up in the line. Blyer back to throw. Over the middle, and a great diving catch, and he's in the end zone, I think, with half his body. A touchdown to Lance Sheely, a reserve flanker who caught it. We had a man all over him, fighting him for the ball, but he pulled it down on his chest. Jose McCrary was right on him, and he fell in there with his shoulder pads and helmet over the goal line, and it's 28-13. McCrary was covering it well. It was thrown well. The receiver did a good job. 28-13, 3 minutes and 20 seconds. They're going to go for 2. 3 minutes and 20 seconds and a light mist falling again. I still haven't had any scores for a while. Richmond lines up. 3 receivers right, 1 running back. Blyer running to the right. We chase him behind the line. He's going back to the left, and he just missed Church because he overthrew him. Miles Smith was really pressuring the quarterback. Our cornerback just shot in there. They went for 2 and missed it. Timeout here. 60-second local break on the Georgia Bulldog Network. We got a mystery guard in there. We're trying to figure out who he is on that right side of the line. 3rd down, the ball on the 25. Late in the game, Joey Hester, the quarterback. Hester going to fake, and he's going to pitch it outside. Fumble, but recovered by Randy Jackson, who dropped on the ball. Not a good pitch. Hester got hit, pitched it back in the loss of 4 to the 29. Jack Henrietta, outside linebacker, had crashed in. Seconds are ticking out. Dogs may not get another play off. It's 28-13. The ball on the 29. It'll be Florida next week. And we have no final out of that. Georgia has defeated Richmond by 15 points, 28-13 today. It was a tough, stubborn 7-7 thing at the half. Georgia jumped quickly with a couple of touchdowns there in the early minutes of the 3rd quarter. Rudolph Henderson was that guard playing with that 2nd unit line that managed to play the last few minutes of the game. Georgia a winner, and that's the 6th win of the year. Got a lot of people missing now as they go into those final 3 big games, but they sit there 6-2. Bill Schaefer now will be back after this 90-second network break on the Georgia Bulldog Network.